It's finally time. Welcome to the answers portion of my Q&A. Thank you very much for being patient with me as I've been very tied up and have finally gotten a chance to get to this video. Anyways, before we get started, just a few people I would like to thank right off the bat. My friend Tyson, whose YouTube channel is in the description. B-Thought. Not that kind of thought. But anyways, he is the Dr. Giro to my perfect cell. He taught me a lot about editing, and I don't think I'd be quite as good as I am without him, even though I still have a lot to learn. Also, special shout out to all of my real life friends who are very pivotal when it comes to quality control, as I usually run all my videos through them at least once or twice before creating a final version, which I then upload to YouTube. Without them, I don't think I would have added as many jokes and as many little subtle nuances as I have. Also, a huge shout out to my friend Diablade Zat, who tends to be able to be a co-writer when it comes to certain jokes and certain 101s. I mean, he also provided the Metafo Yang Zing double Zolkin into 7 Deadly Sins clip, which we all know was just plain straight savage of him. Also, an extra huge shout out to everyone on the r/Yu-Gi-Oh! Official Discord. Simply put, there would not be a Yozzoy YouTube channel without that Discord. That place is basically a second home for me, and I've made so many great online friends through the platform. In addition, I would like to also make sure that I give a special shout out to all the mods of said Yu-Gi-Oh! Discord, including, of course, the fact that I am one of them. We run a tight ship, and you should come join us sometime. And as an extension of that, the r/Yu-Gi-Oh! Subreddit. These guys have been so supportive of all my videos, and it's great to get some honest-to-God constructive criticism, while also seeing all the hyped comments and just seeing the fact that, well, lots of people are enjoying my content. But now, let's get to the questions! Why do I love Yu-Gi-Oh? Well, I love Yu-Gi-Oh! Because it's a very fast card game. I love being able to kind of go from 0 to 100 in a given deck and being able to just build these big old massive fields and go either for swinging in for damage or just counterplaying whatever my opponent does. I just love the aspects of the various summoning conditions too, with my favorite being easily synchro summoning. Do I watch Alpha Rad? Not anymore. I used to love the Smash Bros. 101s, but ever since he stopped that series and just kind of took his channel in the direction of let's just do games that YouTubers would do and kind of became a ultra generic gaming YouTuber, I just haven't watched pretty much anything he's done. I unsubscribed like months ago. Do I take requests? Not at the moment. Sorry about that. Maybe in the future sometime, but realistically, I just don't have the time to do the decks I want to do and requests unless there's a little more attached to it. Why did I start 101s? Well, this is kind of attached to another question, which is why did I start YouTubing? It was mainly as a way to just show cool things off to my friends. And I mean, I just wanted to do it in a fast, kinetic, and fun way, and the 101s seemed like the perfect fit for that. I mean, you could look back on my channel and you see there was just like random Yu-Gi-Oh! Duels with like no audio, just the duel itself, no speed, no memes, nothing. And that was mainly at the beginning when I wanted to just show my friends duels and show my friends decks. Eventually that sort of evolved and I want to be more of an entertainer with my duels, and that's when I kind of adopted the 101 style. And in addition to what this question goes on to say, I did feel that the Comedy Cat ones did have some gaps in them, and I did want to rectify the perceived mistakes I saw in his videos in mine. So I made it a little slower, a little less dank, ultra memey, and a little less and a little more, in line with the original Smash Brothers 101s, which were more gameplay based as opposed to the actual like on-screen gags and jokes based. I mean, Alpha Rad, granted, did knock that air horn quite a few times at us, but overall, it was more about the gameplay and, say, going for a disrespect with a character in Smash, or just getting a stupid kill, things like that. And I want to kind of transition that more towards the gameplay style, as opposed to Comedy Cat's original, overly memey side. Not really a knock on the guy, of course, because he did progenerate the Yu-Gi-Oh version of 101, but that's just how I feel about it. What software do I use to create the 101s? Well, I use OBS, Open Broadcast Software, to record DevPro replays, which I then put into Adobe Premiere Pro, and I edit from there. How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? I don't know, a lot. How long is your denglong? Same size as standard Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Otherwise, it would be illegal to play. Worst video game I've ever played. Yu-Gi-Oh! Reshef of Destruction. Do not play that game. It is absolute horrendous garbage. I'm thinking of, honestly, one day recording and doing like a full review on that game, because it is abysmal how bad that game is. What would be a good warrior-based engine to put in Red Eyes? Honestly, I have no idea. Least favorite archetype currently in the TCG. You know, I could say something very typical like Psyframes, and I wouldn't be lying to you, but at the same time, I'm going to have to say Red Eyes, because they managed to have so much support, yet zero fucking synergy. Seriously, it took me like 80 games to make that 101. What is my favorite anime and why? Well, that's a tough one. I would honestly say that is a tough one. I'm not that big on anime per se. I just never have like enough time to watch. Hell, I barely have enough time for my usual hobbies. But I would want to say the first, like, my favorite first real anime I watched, and I know this is going to sound completely ridiculous, Oh My Goddess. It was funny, it was sweet, I liked it a lot. It was, I guess, one of the older harem animes, even though I never really watch it as a harem anime. It never went overboard with its service or anything. It was just very kind of slice of lifey, and I enjoyed it because it had a touch of wackiness, but it had a lot of heart to it. And it had a good dub, which helped. What's my opinion on 60 Skull Servant, and would I like to do a Skull Servant 101? Well, this sort of falls in line with the request category, so same answer. I don't really take requests at this current moment. Next up, as far as my opinion on 60 card Skull Servant, my only experience with that deck is Olympio's video, where he went full savage on that Zodiac player, and it was glorious. Even though I really don't care for Grass is Greener being limited to 1, I still thought it was hilarious, to say the least. Anyways, but I do want to do something with Skull Servants later on. You'll see. It's going to be interesting, though. It's going to be interesting. What non-meta deck currently has a good chance in the current meta format? Honestly, I don't know enough of the meta format right now because I've just been in a bit of a Yu-Gi-Oh rut, in all honesty. It's just kind of like, we're kind of in that limbo between like the end of the Arc V era and waiting for links to come out, so I haven't really done much playing or experimenting because I kind of feel like it's pointless until we get the new Master Rules implemented here in the TCG. But everyone seems to be hyping up Phantasmal Spiral Dragon thingy. Yeah, go play that. I guess for anime archetypes it would have to be Battle Wasps, Cookmates, and the Valid Armor cards. What is my favorite dream? Well, I dream that one day Shadal's get erased from existence and I could have Super Poly at 3 for Omni Heroes again. Why is my profile picture always Rosalina? Well, basically, she is my waifu, and I am loyal to my waifu. It is as simple as that. No, but seriously, you even want to see my mat? Here's my mat. Yeah. Yeah, that's where the thumbnail for this video comes from. No, but on a serious note, it's just that I dug the design that Rosalina had when I first played like Super Mario Galaxy back in the day. And it's always just kind of stuck with me like that. And I do enjoy always using her in like the Mario Kart games because she acts at, due to the fact that she's so tall, she fits into the heavy class of characters, and her bonuses usually revolve around speed and handling. So I enjoy her as a character in Mario Kart games like that, even though in Mario Kart Wii she was technically outclassed by Funky Kong. But, I mean, I still managed to achieve top 100 in Rainbow Road at some point before all the hackers took over with her. So, I mean, +1 for that. Though I will say one minor nitpick I have is I liked when she was voiced by Mercedes Rose a bit better than this current voice actress. Not that this current voice actress is terrible by any means, and I mean, Mario characters don't exactly have a large vocabulary, as it were, but I don't know, it just Mercedes Rose carried that somber tone a little bit better that I think really defined Rosalina for me. Can you make decks for the meta? If you mean deck profiles, no, not really. I just, now that the 101s are kind of the staple thing on my channel, I guess I'm just going to focus on them. If I just so happen to do a meta deck like I kind of did with Metaful Yang Zing 101, then it happens, or even with like Dino 101. But I just do decks I feel like I can make a lot of jokes and whatnot with. What is my favorite meta deck and non-meta deck currently? Currently, my favorite non-meta deck is, well, I guess probably hashtag Dino DNA because it's still playable, but at the same time it's worse than Zoo. Fucking Zoo. And then my favorite meta deck right now is I don't have one, I guess you could say, because just I don't enjoy True Dracos. I hate Zoo and its variants. But I guess just kind of stretch it off dinos, Yang Zing dinos, I guess. What other games am I playing, and do I play Pokemon TCG? Well, as far as card games go, it's only Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon. And Pokemon, I'm not even that, like, heavily invested or that good at it, but I do want to build Metagross GX. Here's my deck profile. Yeah, eventually. Then, yeah, I do enjoy Pokemon, and I have been kind of getting more into it just as something a little bit new, I guess. I've just been craving something new. I mean, I also played back in the day. I bought the Dragon Speed Garchomp deck from Dragons Exalted, and I played that for a bit, but X-Ball Mewtwo fucked me up and gave me PTSD at this point. And then I kind of just took like a huge break from the gap of like the last Black and White set to right now, basically, and I've been playing a lot of the TCGO on my phone and just grinding packs. Pulled a lot of full arts too, which is nice, but overall, I do want to get more into it. It's just that I don't exactly have the current resources to at this current moment. Did I enjoy the final season of Samurai Jack, and have I played any of the Ding Dong Grandpa games? I have not watched Samurai Jack yet, like any of it. I've seen the odd episode here or there on TV, but back in the original like run in the kind of early-ish 2000s, it was never really on Canadian channels, it seems, because I barely ever saw it. And I do eventually want to watch it, because I've heard excellent things about it, of course. And I'll get to it eventually. And as far as the Ding Dong Grandpa games, nope, haven't played any of them. I've heard very mixed reactions to one of them, and I know a lot of people in my kind of local anime group love to cosplay certain Ding Dong Grandpa characters, so there's that. Oh, and Ding Dong Grandpa is what we call Danganronpa, because it's a thing that generated from my local anime group. What is my favorite Yu-Gi-Oh character from each Yu-Gi-Oh series? Duel Monsters is Joey. GX would probably have to be Tyranno Hasselberry. Hashtag Dino DNA. Get that shit trending, boys. 5Ds, I would honestly have to say it is Zakingu himself, Jack Atlas. Well, like Season 1 Jack Atlas before, everything happened with the writing. Zexal, I would have to say it's Yuma, because I did enjoy his character growth. And for Arc V, it is Gong Strong, son. Gong Strong. Alright, who is my main in Smash Bros. 4, and what is my favorite deck of all time? So first off, mains in Smash 4, I got a few of them actually. So I would say my overall number one main is definitely Mario. Mario is just the character that I feel like if I'm going in blind to a match, of like a 4 Glory match or whatever, it's Mario all the way, because he's the one I feel I could best utilize to handle various different situations. He's extremely flexible. He's middle of the road speed, weight, and kind of reach, which does hamper him against a lot of sword characters, but overall, if I play smart, I can usually get the better of them. Then I would have to say my secondary goes to Shulk. Shulk is the character I love to play whenever I feel like I lose, say, against a sword character with Mario. I go Shulk, because Speed Art Shulk just could get in on so many various characters and just stay in. It's ridiculous. Unfortunately, I hate how certain aspects of his Monado are handled, like the fact that if you change arts in air, you could sometimes, he'll do the animation and your momentum will be completely, canceled for some dumb reason. And I do love Monado canceling, especially with the getting cheeky back air kills. And kind of my tertiary character would be Ike. Ike I'm okay with, but I just feel he's too damn slow to really compete with, say, Shulk's speed with the speed art. And I do love how hard he hits, and but he's just too slow to really get in on characters. He gets comboed to death sometimes. But when you do pull out a really, really good win with him, it just feels so satisfying. Surprisingly enough, I don't main Rosalina in Smash, because I only have a 3DS, and I said once I get a Wii U, I'll put some real time into maining Rosalina. Well, that kind of never happened, and since that's not going to happen at this point, unfortunately, I'm basically going to wait till Smash Switch and pick up Rosalina. As far as my favorite deck of all time would go, I would have to give that to Quick Draw Dandy Warriors, which I believe was a deck piloted and kind of pioneered by Jeff Jones. Basically, what the idea of the deck was, you use Quick Draw Synchron to discard Dandelion. Dandelion would spawn 2 tokens, and then you would kind of go into the Synchro Warrior toolbox that Yozzoy had from basically the anime. And back then, things like Junk Archer were pretty strong and cool and stuff like that. And it also used things like Lone Fire to get to Titanial and use the tokens as fuel for Titanial's effect, and so on and so forth. It was a really fun deck, and I very much enjoyed it. Unfortunately, kind of got hit in the knees a little too hard when they finally put Debris and Dandy to 1 in the ban list. So from then, I switched to Machina Fortress, Machina Gadgets. What do I think of the new Yu-Gi-Oh! Ban list? It's aight. I'm just kind of waiting for the one that kills Zoo, but that's about it. At least it killed Grass. What's a budget-friendly deck to play in the future? I would honestly have to say, you give things like Fright Furs a shot. They're pretty decent in links, thanks to Sabretooth. Are Ancient Gears and Subterrors going to be decent in link format? Honestly, I have no idea. Subterrors maybe, because you could just banish kind of the link monster with Umastrix and just screw things up with using Fiendus and Ultramafuse in order to just slow the opponent down a lot. Maybe since you can't as easily go or as liberally go into Utopia the Lightning, things might be easier for them. But other than that, I just don't know. And Ancient Gears, I know literally nothing about, so couldn't comment on them really either. What is my favorite archetype and why? I would have to give that to Yang Xing, actually. I do, love their artwork. They look absolutely beautiful and majestic. And 2, I really like their gameplay style. I love the aspect of adding buffs to synchro monsters because, as I mentioned previously, synchro summoning is my favorite of the summoning mechanics. And seeing that kind of expanded upon through the use of the buffs is just very interesting. So you could have like Baxia, except it's trap proof and it has like extra attack, and then it just becomes a 33 wall or whatever, and it's just very hard to get over, and you can't be its effect can't be striked or Venus chained or whatever it was relevant back in kind of the original Yang days. But it was really cool seeing a summoning mechanic that I love so much finally get some attention after the dry spout that was the the Zexal era. Does this still count as first? Yes. How hard are 101 videos to make? Well, initially, like, Subterra took like 2 to 3 weeks of production, but that was when I was kind of like introducing myself to all the mechanics of the Adobe Premiere and whatnot, and honestly, I think it's definitely my worst 101 just because, like, now I know how to do things so much easier and so much more efficient. But nowadays, it usually only takes, like, I would say, like, 10 to 20 hours of work, which is still a lot, but at the same time, I usually have a lot of fun when I'm editing. Like, editing is pretty fun to me for some reason, and it doesn't feel like that, but usually I would have to say it's still difficult, especially if you want to get, like, certain jokes to work just the way you want it. I, for the life of me, can't get screen hold to work, but it's always satisfying once I do finally accomplish my goal and I finally make the video itself. What should be banned and what shouldn't be banned? Well, what should be banned is whatever people feel is the most important aspect of Zodiac. I have not studied the deck enough to say hit this, hit that, because apparently the deck still lives with Broadbull, and yeah, I don't feel like searching into Zodiac that much right now. But whatever the key component of Zodiac is, kill it, please. And then what card should be banned? Bring back Pot of Avarice. I love that card. They hit it for no reason. I want Pot of Avarice back. It was like a slow +1. When will we do MVM together? Man, Nombre, I miss you so fucking much. You do not actually believe it. But seriously, I will... It's just school. School just seriously eats up all my time. Hopefully this summer we could get together and do some MVM, but man, it's just so busy. I'm just so damn busy always. I'm sorry. Do I play Yu-Gi-Oh! In real life, and do I plan on going to any events? Well, I really, unfortunately, am unable to play in real life or go to any events at the current moment. Just, yeah, it's just mainly due to complex house issues. Let's put it like that. And I would absolutely love to go to like a regional or YCS in like Toronto or something, because I'm Canadian, I live in Ontario. But right now it's just not going to happen, unfortunately. Anyways, thank you so much for sitting all the way through this if you did. I would like to give a big thank you to all my current subscribers and commenters for the questions, because without you, none of this would be possible.